Power Ranking Show is brought to you by Bet Online. Bet Online is your number one source for all of your betting needs. Get the latest odds and lines and the latest matchup reports for football, basketball, baseball, boxing, golf, and more. Bet Online is the fastest and the easiest way to get your betting info, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games that are available to play right from your home and your phone. Get in on the action today. So head to the website, use your mobile device, and join. And make sure you use our promo code BELIEVE to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts.
And that, of course, is the voice of @Marcus_Mosher. This is the Power Rankings Podcast, aka the Power Rankings Show. We're doing our picks. We're coming at you a little bit late today. I apologize. Seems like we've had quite a few that have been late, or at least several.
It's my fault. I was hanging up my Christmas decorations all morning long. Pushed the podcast back till later this afternoon. So it's my fault.
Yeah. We've had some family matters to deal with. So I was coming from a small town to get set up here, but I did think of you on the way back, a lot of big trucks. And I know how much you're proud of your big truck. I needed something to lighten me up, and thinking of you with your all electric Ford F-150 Marcus has.
I wish.
Yeah. Marcus's truck could like power an entire national park. Yeah. Anyway,
I've got more capacity, computing capacity in the front of my truck than what we had going to space, like in the 60s and 70s.
Oh, yeah. You know, as a former pickup truck owner, I find it interesting how they went from extended cab, right?
Yeah.
To quad cab to king cab.
That's what I have as a king cab. It's
king cab. Yeah.
So it's kind of nice. You don't even have like a bed to your truck anymore. It's just extended cab. It's great. It's like a minivan. It's jacked up. Can we talk some football?
Yeah, let's talk some football. What do you want to talk about?
Panthers at Bears Thursday night football.
Now you can't.
Bears.
I can't say what you want to talk about. Come on, and you go to that. There's got to be something, anything besides this, please. Nothing.
No, I poor Al Michaels. I don't know how he's going to do tonight's show.
Oh gosh. Yeesh. Okay, let's talk spread and all those fun things. Totals, Bears, locations.
3.5-point favorites here.
What are you basing that on? Give me a reasoning for the Bears being favored by 3.5. Well, what do you think Vegas is thinking?
The Panthers are bad. It's a short week on the road. No Brian Burns for the Panthers. They're incredibly beat up on defense. But no Justin Fields for the Bears either. So what do I know?
Who are you taking in the 5 minutes that you watch?
I'll take the Bears.
Yeah. You know, there just hasn't been enough from Bryce Young yet. We've got the one win against the Texans. The guy, he hasn't been terrible, Marcus. You know, I think sometimes the really great players that are able are players that are able to be good out of the gate, like Justin Herbert, kind of ruin it for these guys. Not everybody that has a slow start to their rookie season at quarterback ends up being a bust. A lot of times they end up being pretty good players. It's a really tough position, and it's tougher when, again, guys who are first-year starters have amazing years. And we have had a lot of those in recent years. Patrick Mahomes, maybe not as a rookie, but his first year as a starter, won MVP. Justin Herbert was amazing his rookie year. And CJ Stroud is kind of ruining it for everybody right now, putting up Tecmo Bowl numbers. I wanted to stay on brand. But I'm going to go with you on the Bears here at home.
All right, next game. Colts, Patriots. Now, this game is in Germany. I'm setting the line on over 30 seconds that you watch this game. Will you even be awake by the time this game ends?
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull out my Frankfurt Galaxy jersey that I have. I have an authentic one from the 90s. I'm going to think about my life.
No chance you're awake for this game.
I'm going to think about your football card addiction and how you buy the same card with just a different color border, and then you try to sell me on it.
Look at this new one I got. This is a Trey Hendrickson red no huddle.
Thank goodness, because I was really afraid that you were going to get the maroon 4-minute offense one.
Yeah, I didn't get that one. That was a little bit more expensive. This one was on sale at my local card shop.
Is the card company sick? They actually made a card of a defensive lineman. That's not like.
Well, they only made 50 of these, so yeah, probably.
Look, can we talk about Colts Patriots?
Yeah. I'll take the Colts in this game because the Patriots absolutely stink right now. I did hear that it's going to be like 80% Patriots fans in that stadium. So
What are
maybe
the Colts favored by?
what's that?
What are they favored by? Colts.
1.5.
Yeah, that's not enough. I'll take the Colts too. Now, if it was 3.5, I'd have to give that a little bit of thought. I think it's going to be a competitive game. Who knows? Maybe the Colts only win by 1 point, but I'm going to take the Colts straight up and the Colts to
Yeah.
cover. Let's talk total here real quick. We didn't do it on the other game either. I'm just curious. They both have to be low.
38 on Bears Panthers,
Under.
43 and Colts Patriots.
I'd take under on both.
Okay.
I would.
I'm with you.
All right.
Moving on. Sunday afternoon. Really good game. Browns at Ravens. Ravens 6.5-point favorites. Deshaun Watson healthy, going to play.
Oh, can the Ravens win by a touchdown? See, I feel like if I pick the Ravens to win by a touchdown here, that's when they're going to prove my previous analysis of them right, that I don't think they're as good as they're playing. So I'm going to go with Cleveland here to cover this.
They played earlier this season at Cleveland. Now, that was a game that Dorian Thompson-Robinson played. The Ravens won 28-3. I fully expect this game to be closer. I'm going to take the
It's that Browns defense. First of all, the Ravens haven't played a lot of good quarterbacks. And how many suffocating defenses has this team played?
I know.
6.5's a lot.
I'm just going to be honest. I would not bet this game.
No, I wouldn't either.
Man. But if I'm picking, I would pick Browns plus 6.5.
So far, my favorite thing we've gone over yet is the under on Patriots Colts at 43. That's the thing I like the best. Let's go.
Next one. Saints at Vikings. Saints 3-point favorites on the road.
Boy, the Vikings have been playing such good football, and I think really what it is that defense has come around.
Yeah.
And kudos to them because they really had a long way to come around. Now, the magic on Josh Dobbs, is it over? I mean, we've seen him play. He played last year for Tennessee, I believe against Dallas was his
He
first
played 2
game.
games last year. Yeah.
Yeah. But the first one was against Dallas on an exciting Amazon Prime night, except not at all. And
Cowboys wore
then
nice white uniforms though, so it did make it better.
He slowly kind of went downhill with the Cardinals last week. Do they keep the magic alive? Now, here's the thing. The Vikings are at home. The Saints have been super inconsistent, although they have played better football over the last month than they did the first month of the season. I think this is another one that you avoid betting on. But my thought is the Saints are probably the safer choice here.
I would take the Saints to cover that spread. I just feel like they're so much more talented. They're so much healthier. Now that the Saints have had a full week to watch Josh Dobbs on the Vikings, I think they'll have a good game plan on that side of the ball. So I'm leaning Saints. Another good 1:00 game. Texans at Bengals. Bengals are 6.5-point favorites. Elliot, a little bit of some injury stuff for you. Jamar Chase hurt his back in the game against the Bills. Chris Collinsworth was talking about it all night, how sore he was going to be the next day. Didn't practice on Wednesday, was very limited on Thursday. T. Higgins hurt his hamstring on Wednesday, already ruled out for this game, already ruled out for next Thursday's game against the Ravens. So they can be pretty limited at wide receiver this week.
I always tell you guys out there that Marcus looks at these lines, a couple times during the week. And then obviously before we do this podcast, I don't look at them on purpose because I always try to react. And my first reaction when I heard this is Vegas is going to do 7 or 7.5 for sure. And they didn't. They did 6.5, but it's still a little high for my taste, especially with you. And probably these wide receiver injuries are why they didn't. Yeah. I'm actually going to take Houston here to cover. I'll take Cincinnati to win at home outright.
I'm going to take the Texans to cover, and I'm going to take the Texans to win outright as well. I just think this is a little bit of a trap game for the Bengals. They had the big win against the Bills on Sunday night. They play the Ravens on a short week. I could see this being a game, especially with T. Higgins being out, with Chase being injured, where things are just look a little clunky on offense. So give me the Texans. All right, another 1:00 game that's absolutely fantastic. San Francisco 49ers at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Both these teams coming off a bye. 49ers getting healthy. They are 3-point favorites on the road.
Coming off a bye.
Mm-hmm.
Well, bye. Sorry, that's a line from one of your favorite movies. Do you
And
know what movie that's from?
of
Come on.
course, it's my favorite Western movie of all time.
Yeah. Yes. I think that was Powers Booth that had that line. All right. Is that his name? Powers Booth? Wait,
He's
no,
saying,
no, not Powers Booth. Doggone it. Who plays it's
yeah,
not
but he,
Johnny Ringo.
yeah, it's Johnny Ringo.
Johnny Ringo. Well then who's the one that's that plays the guy that gets in the shootout with Doc Holliday at the end? I mean, what's that character's name?
Uh, I don't remember, but go ahead.
I think
Anyways,
Johnny Ringo is the one at the end who gets
yeah,
in
but
the shootout
Johnny
with Doc
Ringo
Holliday.
says that line. Yeah,
No, it's the leader with the red shirt that
but
looks like it doesn't get
I thought it
dirty
was
the
like
whole
with
movie.
the red little bandana around his neck, right?
Yeah, but what was his name? He was the main villain. Anyway. All right, sorry guys for the deep dive into Tombstone. I mean, it's a fairly new movie. Not really. All right.
From the 90s.
What's our spread again?
3.
What's our game again?
49ers.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
49ers Jags. All right. Sorry guys, I'm a little loopy. I've had a lot on my plate. The 49ers lost 3 in a row before they went on their bye. They had the awful game against Cleveland. They had the game against Minnesota and Kirk Cousins, where Kirk Cousins played maybe the best game a quarterbacks played this year, not statistically speaking, but just overall. Trying to think the other game the 49ers, and the Bengals, right? They lost to the Bengals in San Francisco. Jacksonville has been winning, but you could make a case that Thursday night game against the Saints, they should have lost that game. I still think San Francisco is a better team than Jacksonville. Coming off a bye, I'm taking them with such a small spread there at 3 points.
Yeah, I'm taking the 49ers there as well. Next game.
Great analysis.
I mean, you took up all the time. It's fine.
I did.
I wanted to save mine for Packers at Steelers. Steelers 3-point favorites here. Packers very banged up in this game. No Jair Alexander. They're all pro cornerback. I'm taking the Steelers to win and cover.
Let's talk over under on this game. What are we dealing with? 42 and a half?
39.
Boy, that's a little low, don't you think, man? Even for Pittsburgh's, I almost called them defunct offense. They're not defunct. They haven't gone out of business, but they're about to.
Curly Bill, by the way, who said that.
Curly Bill. Thank you. Remember at the end when Johnny Ringo, I already know why you're picking Pittsburgh. You're picking Pittsburgh because if they win, you're right. And if they lose, you're happy anyway. So let's just skip the ending.
Yeah.
So Johnny Ringo at the end, when he's like, my fight's not against you longer. And Doc Holliday says something like, I believe it is. And then Johnny Ringo goes, doesn't want to. And then he goes, well, all right. With those crazy eyes. Remember that?
I do. I thought when you were talking about how tired and overwhelmed I was just going to be like Doc Holliday and say, not me. I'm in my prime.
Yeah. I'm in my prime. All right. What's next?
Great game. Titans at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay 1-point favorite at home.
Oh, gosh. Boy, I could see the Titans going right in there and beating them because Tampa Bay's defense really struggled against Houston. Now, I'd like to think that they'd, recoup here or recoup their losses, I guess. But I don't know that Baker Mayfield is going to play the same way he did last week when he played really well.
No.
And if he doesn't, I think Tennessee's going to take it right to them. Do you think Tennessee's going to be able to run on Tampa? Because really it was their secondary that hurt them last week. And that's not Tennessee's strength.
I don't. I think Tampa Bay bounces back. They're at home. I think they get a win against this Tennessee team.
What's our total on this?
Pretty low. 39.
Oh, gosh. I can't go under that. I like Tampa on this one, but this is probably one, man. Is there any really point to bet on this game?
No, not at all.
I'll take Tampa to win and cover. Isn't Tampa favored by, what'd you say they were favored by?
1 point. Yep.
By 1. Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
that's not really being
all
favored.
right. Now we are into our afternoon games. The America's game of the week on Fox, a really big one here. The New York Giants at the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh.
Cowboys 17-point favorites.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Normally I would never advocate for favoring the Cowboys by this much, especially against the Giants, who have historically played the Cowboys tough so many times. But they are so bad up front. Who we don't even know who's starting at quarterback, do we?
We do. It's Tommy DeVito, who
We're
happens to
sure of
be
that.
it's sure, who happens to be the name of the character that Joe Pesci plays in Goodfellas. So I could do some Goodfellas quotes if you'd like me to.
What was the DeVito that played for the Jets, the big defensive lineman? That I thought it was Tommy
Mike,
also.
that was
It was
Mike
Mike
DeVito.
DeVito. Mike
Mike
DeVito for the
DeVito.
Rex Ryan Jets. Okay.
Danny
Um,
DeVito is a really good Matilda.
yeah. Well, I told you my Jets' favorite lineman from that era is definitely when Sean Ellis was running around getting
Yeah.
3 sacks with that cookie belly. Okay.
You just skipped over I wanted to give you some Goodfellas quotes from Joe Pesci, but it's fine.
You're just so in love with that movie, but I
It
have
is.
to admit, it was pretty funny you trying to post the cable, uh, fixed version from Casino when
Yes.
he and, Robert De Niro have that argument out in the
That was in
desert.
Casino, actually, but
Yeah,
yes,
Casino, right, that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. It was Casino,
yeah,
not,
yeah,
Goodfellas. I know the difference, but Robert De Niro is a huge character in both,
yeah.
so is Joe Pesci. Um, okay. I just here's the issue. Besides the Giants' offensive line, besides who they're starting at quarterback, the Cowboys just author so many home blowouts, more than any team over the last 3 or 4 years. Do you feel like this is the one that they finally kind of have a little bit of a dud and they only win like 20-6 and rest guys?
It's possible. No Darren Waller for the Giants, so a little bit less firepower on offense. No Adoree Jackson, the number one corner. Um, I won't be surprised, Elliot, if the Cowboys come out extremely flat in this game. And it's a 7-6 game going into halftime, and there's multiple turnovers. But to me, I think the best bet here is to take the under. It's 39. I just don't see a way that the Giants score enough for the over to hit there.
Yeah, I'm with you. Obviously, we both like the Cowboys to win outright, we should say. Did we do an outright pick on the last one? Well, it was a
Yeah,
1
we
point.
we
Yeah.
both like
Okay.
Tampa.
Yeah.
Uh,
I need to
uh,
make sure to do that though, because we're always doing against the spread, and I know a lot of you guys are just in straight pick 'em league, so
yeah.
I will make sure to remember that. Okay,
All right,
next
so
one.
there's only 4 late afternoon games. That is one. Here's the
Okay.
other 3. Falcons at Cardinals. Falcons 1.5 point favorites.
As cruddy as the Falcons have played, the Kyler Murray wait going on, but are we certain that Kyler Murray is going to start?
Yes, Kyler Murray's already been announced as a starter.
He's been announced. It's done.
Yes, it's done.
How rusty is he going to be?
Rusty. He hasn't played in
Yeah.
a year.
Would you bet your money? Okay. Your Dairy Queen money. We all don't have Dairy Queen. Your Sonic
We
money.
do have Dairy Queen.
Oh, okay. Would you bet Applebee's coming to town or not coming to town on the Cardinals winning this game?
I would not.
Yeah,
I would
that's what
take
I
the
thought.
Falcons to win this game.
Yeah, but you are not an Arthur Smith fan. You don't like the way he's using his resources. Maybe this is the game he changes his mind. But here's the thing, as down as you are on the Falcons, this is a major game in the NFC South because it's highly, highly winnable. It's the most winnable game any of the NFC South teams are playing this week, right? Because the Saints are playing on the road at Minnesota, and Tampa Bay is hosting the Titans, who we think is going to give them a tough game. And I'm muted.
You're not muted. I was listening to you.
Yeah, I hit my cord. I think the Falcons win, and they're right back there, man. They're right back there in the NFC South race, as bad as or as down as you are on this team.
So Taylor Heineke said that this is our Super Bowl this week.
Sweet, man. Sweet.
No, I'm taking the Falcons there.
Can we go to the other afternoon Super Bowl?
We've got Commanders at Seahawks. Seahawks 6.5 point favorites.
That's a little high for me, man. I know it's at Seattle. I know they got the doors blown off them last week, but prove it.
Yeah.
I know you want to pick Seattle to win by a touchdown, but
I'm
come
not.
on, man.
I'm going to take Washington to win outright.
And Seattle hasn't been playing well now for weeks. No. I'm going to give Seattle the home win, but I like Washington to cover. What's total on this one?
44.5, a little higher. Sam Howell has actually put up a lot of points this year with Eric Bieniemy, so I'm actually inclined to take the over there.
I was just about to say the lowest score I would see this game would be like 23-20. And that's not low enough to bet on the under because you're talking 44.5. So I'm with you. If you're going to bet one, go with the over. But I like Washington to cover better than the over under.
All right.
Next up.
Our last afternoon game, 100% an Elliot Harrison special. He will not be watching his beloved Dallas Cowboys because he is going to watch Lions at Chargers on Sunday afternoon. Lions 3-point favorites on the road.
Ooh. Oh,
Am I right?
I
You're
don't.
watching this game. This is the one you
Oh,
want to watch.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Look, I hope the Lions don't wear those. My mom said they look like pajamas
The
last
gray
week.
ones.
Yeah. And don't say, well, they usually don't wear them on the road because they have before. They wore them in Dallas. Remember a few years ago when the Cowboys won against a sorry Lions team and they all ran around like they won the Super Bowl? Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. I really could go off on that. I'm not gonna. Okay. Marcus, a couple things here. Because this is one of our best games. No? I mean, this is a
Yeah, I
top
think
3
this
game
is
of the
this is the
weekend.
best game of the afternoon
Yeah,
slate.
so let's just dive into this for a minute. We know Jared Goff has had his road struggles, but not as bad this year as last year. Yes, an abysmal game against Baltimore, but he's had some good games. He had a good one against Tampa about a month ago. I don't trust the Chargers defense to shut him down unless Khalil Mack and Bosa both have great games. I have not seen a game other than last week when both of those guys had a great game together.
Yeah.
I like the Lions line just fine. I think the Lions are going to run at them. The question I have is are the Lions good enough on the back end if Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen connect like they did last week? Because they looked a little better. I told you they misfired a lot this year. What do you think?
I'm on Detroit here. I think they're going to have enough on offense. They've had how many days to get ready for this game?
True.
14, 15 days to get ready for this game.
Short week for the Chargers.
Short,
They
yeah.
played on Monday night. Yep.
And they played in New York. They played the Jets on Monday night, so they're
Yeah.
having to travel back. I just think the Lions have the rest advantage. I think they're more talented. I think their offensive line is going to kick the butts of the Chargers. They've got maybe the best tackle pairing in the league. I'm taking the Lions with confidence here.
You know, this is one of those games. I know the Chargers defense played well last week, and that was great for them. But I really think the total for this should be 50 at least. If it's
You're
not,
expecting a high scoring game?
this should be over. So
48
I
and a
bet you
half.
Vegas. Yeah, I was going to say Vegas at 47.5. They did 48.5. I take the over on that.
Okay. Our 2 primetime games this week. I mean, just absolutely stellar games. Jets at Raiders, Sunday Night Football. It's a pick 'em.
I'm going to take the Raiders on this. I've seen too much of the Jets offense. What confidence can I have? Now, look, if they run Brees Hall right at the Raiders and limit the dropbacks to 20 or 22, and they're effective with that and they make their kicks, I think they can beat the Raiders. But I think this is a different Raiders team. They may not be great. The only thing that I'm worried about is that Raiders offensive line against the Jets front with Aiden O'Connell under center. That is the only thing that concerns me.
And it's
And
why
it's a
I'm
big
picking
concern.
it's why I'm picking the Jets as my lock of the week. I think the Jets defensive line is going to dominate this game. Aiden O'Connell can't move. Like he moves like one of those green army soldiers that like we used to play with when we were kids. Like that's this kind of mobility that he has. So I think they're going to dominate up front. The other thing is I don't trust the linebackers at all of the Raiders right now. And I know you don't care about personnel as much, but really quickly, their top linebacker, Divine Diablo, out with an ankle injury. Robert Spillane, their top tackler, out with a hand injury. Their backups, Curtis Bolton and Luke Masterson, both out this week with injuries. Jalen Smith is actually starting at linebacker for the Raiders this week. I think the Jets are going to be able to run all over Las Vegas this week.
I got to tell you, with Curtis Bolton, I celebrate the guy's entire catalog. All right, here's what my gut tells me.
Hey, I got to ask you a question really quickly before we move
Yeah.
on. When you're having like a bad day at work on a Monday, does anybody ever come up to you and ask you if you have a case of the Mondays?
No. Listen.
Okay.
First of all, the Pet Rock guy made $1 million. Second of all, my gut tells me the Jets win 10-6, but my heart tells me the Raiders come back, make a final drive, and win 13-10. How do you feel about that?
I'm taking the Jets to win this one pretty convincingly. I think they win like 23-7.
You know what? I hate doing this, but I really try to go against you on a couple of these, and I just can't. I keep trying to go with the Raiders, and everything tells me now the Jets actually win this in
Yeah.
spite of their offense. I'm
Yeah.
with you. I mean, I pretty much laid out. I said, yeah, I think I'm going to take the Raiders. Then I laid out exactly why the Raiders won't win. So
Love it when you
dumb.
do that.
Yeah.
All right. Monday Night Football. I might go to this game. I haven't decided yet, but I'm thinking about it. Broncos at Bills. Bills
Don't do it.
7.5-point favorites. No way in the world would I ever take the Bills to cover that spread.
This is a walkaway game. This is
Yeah.
such a walkaway. We haven't even done that many walkaways for this week. We've been pretty definitive. Any reason you would bet on this game? I
No.
wouldn't bet on the Broncos to cover.
No,
I mean, could you trust
absolutely.
them any more than the Bills at home?
No, I do. The Broncos are coming off a bye, 15 days to get ready for this game.
Great.
The Bills are really beat up on defense, but I'm not betting on Russell
Yeah.
Wilson to win this game outright
Yeah.
either.
What Broncos offensive juggernaut have you seen this year? Because I
No,
haven't seen anything. They
no.
won last year. I mean, last time out against Kansas City because of their defense, not because
Yeah.
of their offense. I think it was 24-9
Yeah,
with
24-9.
having, I believe, a couple turnovers.
Mhm.
If Josh Allen, who's actually played decently well this year, doesn't turn the ball over, I'd take Buffalo to win this all day. I'm with you, though. 7.5 is a lot. I would walk away from this spread. If I have to pick, I'm going to take Buffalo to cover, but I
I'm
don't
going to
like
take
it.
Buffalo 23-20 on Monday.
I'm going to take Buffalo 23-14.
Believe in this Bills defense. All right, we'll run through the games really quickly. Panthers, Bears, we both like the Bears to win outright. Colts, Patriots, we both like the Colts there. Browns, Ravens, I like the Browns to cover. I think we both like the Ravens to win, though, outright, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Saints, Vikings, we both like the Saints. Texans, Bengals, we both like the Texans to cover the spread. You like the Bengals to win. I'm taking the Texans.
Correct.
49ers, we both like the 49ers to win and cover. Steelers, Packers, we both like the Steelers to win and cover. Titans, Bucks, we both like the Bucks to win and cover. Lions, Chargers, I'm taking the Lions to cover. I believe you are as well.
Yeah, I am.
Yep.
That's a good game. That's
Falcons,
a tough game.
Cardinals. Yeah, good game. Falcons, Cardinals. Elliot's lock of the week. Take the Falcons there. Commanders, Seahawks. I'm taking the Commanders just to win outright. You're taking the Seahawks to win, but not to cover. Cowboys,
Correct.
Giants. I'm begrudgingly taking the Cowboys to win. You're taking the Cowboys to win. Stay away from that 17-point total.
Yes.
Jets, Raiders. After much thought, Elliot's back with me, picking the Jets to win on the road. Bills, Broncos. We both like the Bills to win, but stay away from that spread.
Yeah, I think I like the Lions Chargers over the most out of any of these, or the 49ers to win at Jacksonville and cover. But that's tough. I don't know that I would have a lock of the week. I'll tell you, it's definitely not Falcons Cardinals. Another one I like is the Browns to cover, even though I think the Ravens are going to win. But for your final thought, I'm going to give you a guided final thought here. I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
If I'm right on Bills Broncos and the Bills are winning 23-14, but with, 5 seconds left, Russell Wilson throws a touchdown pass, so it's 23-21. What's Russell Wilson's one-word tweet afterward? Or three-word what
Close.
No?
We're like close to coming back, right?
Yeah.
We're on the verge.
I was thinking never stop fighting.
It would be how would he word it? I think it would just be like never give up, period.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's our podcast for today.
Yeah, we got to go.
Is that our podcast?
That's our podcast.
Okay, that's our podcast for today, guys. Those are our picks. We actually agreed a little bit more than we normally do, but interesting slate of games. I definitely like some of the games here this weekend. Definitely have some to look forward to. Not the primetime games.
No.
Those are not the ones to look forward to. But if you want to catch more on one of the afternoon games, Cowboys Giants, listen to Locked On Cowboys. Marcus actually did a crossover pod, right, with the Giants crew on the Locked On Network. He does the Dynasty podcast twice a week for the Locked On Network and covers the Raiders for USA Today Raiders Wire, where he's going to talk about how the Raiders offensive line just dominated up front, except not at all. And then I like saying except not at all. And then also, don't forget to check out his work for the 33rd team. He is at Marcus_Mosher on Twitter. It's at Marcus_Mosher on Twitter. I'm at Harrison NFL on Twitter, and we really appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Broncos country. Let's ride.